Slick Talk God, Slick Walk Nation. Yeah, we leave that there. Slick Talk God, Slick Walk Nation. Um, what's more important, the league or the battle rapper? Me talking about this stems from a lot of people responding back to Smack, to something Smack said on, I believe is Hip Hop is Real. It's either Hip Hop is Real or 15 Minutes of Fame. I'm not sure. I'm sorry, I'm not sure, but it's one of those. And it's basically about you remember some time back he said the money is not he's not recouping the money. We all took that a certain way at that time, and then after me listening to it, I have broke it down. If you go look on my page, you'll find it. What he really meant by they're not recouping the money, meaning battle rappers wanting more than what they're worth, basically. What they asking for all this money, but their performances and their name and just dumb period is not bringing the money back. The league, he's not making no money, and they want all this money, right? So, what's more important, the league or the battle rapper? Uh, I heard Hitman do a, I think he did a Spaces. Yeah, it was a Spaces, and he had his point of view on it, and he made some sense. Um, Easy the Block Captain did a journal on his page, and he talked about what's more important. I think Easy was talking about the battle rappers is what makes the league basically. Without the battle rappers, you would have no basically no leagues in the league, and the big leagues wouldn't be the big leagues without the battle rappers. Uh, like URL wouldn't be URL, the biggest league, without the battle rappers and the battles that made it like that. Uh, Hitman talked about the money and talked about I want to I'm paraphrasing by the way, so I want to get it, I want to get it as close as possible. But he talked about going to smaller leagues. So did Easy too. Going to smaller leagues and charging this much, and then charging this much, a price way higher for the bigger leagues. You know what I'm saying? Like a URL, and that's what Smack problem is. Smack was saying, y'all come over here and want to charge me super high, but then go to these smaller leagues and charge them less money, right? So I paid attention to all this, and I was just listening, and everybody had, what I'm saying, they good points on their argument on what they were saying. Now I'm gonna tell you how I feel about it. This is my point of view. Y'all tell me if y'all agree with it, if y'all don't, or whatever. If y'all don't agree with it, I honestly, I really don't care anyway, because it's my point of view. From me being in this for as long as I've been in this, right? I was in this before URL came about. All right. I remember the first event, the very first event. I remember the first meeting we had. They called, I said the story before. They called a few people, few top battle rappers in, and told us what they wanted to do. I mean, what they were. Let me not say it, what they were going to do, because they did it, and they was gonna start getting us paid and things like that. All right. So when you ask the question, what's more important, the league or the battle rapper? To me, honestly, I feel like it's even. It's not one thing more important than the other. I'm a battle rapper, but I can't say the battle rapper is the most is more important than the league, or vice versa. And I'm gonna break down why. This is it's real funny And when I say it's funny, it's because without the battle rappers, it would be no league. All right. You can't have a league without battle rappers, right? Right. But you could be a battle rapper without a league. That's true. You can be a battle rapper without a league, right? Before the leagues came about, you had battle rappers. You had people that was battling. I was one of them battling on the streets for a long, 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 long time. But what URL did when they came is made it a sport where you get paid, right? So now you can't have one without the other. I'm gonna give you a prime example. When everybody talk about you need the battle rappers, and it's all about the battle rappers. If you ain't no battle rappers, you wouldn't have no league. And that's what made URL the big league and all that. The battle rappers. That's what they were saying, right? But it's times I saw people throw somebody just come in the game, nobody know them. They're a league. They want to be a league owner. They create a league. They just come in the game. They get some of the biggest names and put them on their card. And the card flops. Why is that? Now they got all the biggest names. They go grab. I'm gonna name them there because it's a card in particular. I'm gonna say to prove my point. They grab all the biggest names, and the card doesn't do well. Like it flops. Nobody really buys it. The building is empty, and you got the biggest battle rappers on this card. The leagues are just as important because the trust from the fans. You have to put in work for some time to gain trust from fans, for them to want to spend their money with you. So yes, they spend their money to watch the battle rapper, but they also spend their money with a league they trust, a league they know provides them good battles, a league they know that they're going to get the best look possible, right? So I remember when Harry, I don't know if y'all remember Harry, but I remember when Harry first came in, right? Oh, that might be my cologne. I'm hyped. I remember when Harry first came in. He wound up partnering up with URL down the line, right? But when Harry first came in, Harry had his own league. He had his own league. I remember his first event. I can't think of everybody on the card, but I know Calico was on there. I believe DNA was on there, if I'm not mistaken, and some other people, some other big names was on this card. I don't, and tell me, please, in the comments, tell me if y'all remember this. I went to this event. The event was a flop. It wasn't that much people in the building. He had big names on this card. I'm telling you, it wasn't that much people. It wasn't, the building wasn't packed. The pay-per-view didn't do too good. And that's because the league plays a part also, right? What it boils down to is branding. In business, everything is about branding. When you build up your brand and people trust in your brand, that brings the people. So URL, leagues like URL, RBE, then some of the smaller leagues that been around for a minute now. You hear me saying been around for a minute because you have to show the people that you're here and you're here to stay. In the beginning, you take a bunch of losses, right? You take a bunch of losses in the beginning. So the longer you're around and the more work or the more work you put in with your league, it becomes a trusted league. And us as fans buy into that. So me saying this is saying I could come up with a league right now, book all the big rappers on it. That doesn't mean my league is going to do good or that first card is going to do good. like everybody's gonna buy it. It's gonna be a sold out event. It doesn't mean that. I might lose 3, 4 times before I start breaking even or making over even. So we put our trust in the league off of the hard work they put in. So this is why I agree with some things, and then I disagree with some things, right? And I'm gonna get into the money thing too, and what I feel about that in a minute, right? But no one is more important than the other, and that's solely off of because I've seen a league come in and get all the biggest names, and it didn't do nothing, right? So yes, battle rappers, the top battle rappers help build URL. Of course, I was there from the beginning. I saw it, right? Because URL wasn't nothing. It was just URL. It wasn't this big machine it was now. But as it got bigger, it helped build battle rappers also. So battle rappers and URL got big together as it went up. Now, when they first came in, they did need the battle rapper from the very start. They needed the big name battle rappers to help fuel the engine of URL for sure. But as they went on, they helped everything. They both helped each other get bigger. All right. So as far as the money thing, right? When you talk about the money, I don't really know how. For me, this is what I do, and this is why I don't have no issues, right? I don't go to a smaller league and charge them less money, and then go to a bigger league and charge them more money, right? And when I say that, I say it like this. All right, everything's a business. So if you go to a smaller league, you already know everything is smaller on that league as far as the ticket sales, the pay-per-views, the money being made, the event space. You're looking at all that in the whole, right? So if you go to a bigger league like a URL, RBE, you already know it's bigger money to be made because it's bigger ticket sales, it's bigger pay-per-view sales. So you're thinking like that. So that all makes sense. So this is, of course, you might not charge the same price on a smaller league that you charge on a bigger league. Now I'm gonna just tell you what I do. I stay at the same thing, basically. I don't I don't go too much lower than my number than I want in the big league. I stay at the same number. As either you could afford it or you can't. So if you plan on throwing this card, the first thing I ask is who's on this card? What type of card is this? So if you tell me, nah, I got a budget and I want this card stacked, then you plan on throwing a big card. You know what I'm saying? Where we doing this battle at? Now I'm gonna rent out a spot. It's gonna hold 1,000 people. So that 1,000 people and up is a big event, right? So I'm not gonna go lower on my number. You got to figure that out, or the battle just won't happen for me. I'm just not gonna do it there, right? This is why when I go to smaller leagues, I do something affordable for both of us, something we both can do. That's why I do 1-rounders on smaller leagues. I don't do 3-rounders on smaller leagues because they don't have enough money to pay me to do a 3-rounder over there. And I'm not gonna come down off my number for nobody really. I don't care the league size or whatever. That I give a flat number. That's my number. That's it. You know what I'm saying? When you think of rappers and you go to book a rapper, let's say you want to book Fab, right? Fab don't give a smaller number to do a walkthrough if it's a smaller club. He give the same number whether it's a big club or a small club. That's his number. If you could afford him, you book him. That's how I go about it. Period. This is my number. If you could afford me, you book me. If not, that's it. If you want me on the card, there's other things we can do. Listen, you can't afford to do it. I tell them straight up, listen, for me to do a 3-rounder is gonna cost a lot of money. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I don't really go down off my number. This is what I tell people. And you can ask anybody that ever dealt with me, they're gonna tell you the same thing. But this is what we can do. I'll do a 1-rounder for this price, which is more in your budget. What might have been your budget for the 3-round, but I can give you a 1-round for that number. That works for both of us. That's what I do. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that right there, we can meet in the middle. That works for both of us. But my number is my number. I don't come down off my number. I don't care if you want me to battle in a sewer with the Ninja Turtles with Master Splinter judging. I don't care. It don't matter. My number is my number. Is either you could pay it or you can't pay it. That's just that. So I understand battle rappers saying, when we go to a smaller league, we charge a little less because it's a smaller league. But it do bring confusion, because then the bigger leagues are entitled to feel away. They're gonna feel away because it's like, well, you want to come over here and try to charge me through the roof, but you just took 5,000 over here for a 3 round. It does, but you over here telling me you want 20. It Being a human being, you're going to feel away. Period. All right. So I just feel like, I can't tell nobody else how to do business. For me, I stay on my number and that's it. Therefore, it's no confusion. That's why I don't have confusion with leagues. They're all going to talk. If anybody ever talk, they're going to say, yeah, Goodz want this same number. That's it. I'll go over there. I'll do it 1 round and we keep it like that. So that's what works for me. Like I said, I do understand both sides. I understand the balance saying, well, is a smaller league, so this is why we do this here. When we come here, this is a bigger league. But you also got to understand the league owner perspective and say, all right, well, he can feel away because you just took 5,000 over there. Now you want me to give you 20,000 over here. What stops all this is if you're worth that 20,000. Is if when you come over here to this big league, are the numbers gonna go up? Are you gonna bring more views? Are you gonna bring more sales? All of this is what matters. Period. If you're not, then you are not worth the 20. You can't charge a big league more money just because it's a bigger league. Period. If you're not bringing that money you want, you can't charge them that. You might just be a $5,000 battle rapper. You have to stay in it. You have to stay there. You can't come to the bigger league and charge them more money just because it's a bigger league. It has to make sense. So if you bringing in that and bringing in the views and you doing that, then by any means you could charge what you want when you go to any league. But if you're on a small league and you charge 5,000 and the business add up and that's the amount of views you bring in and the ticket sales and all that, and you go to a big league and you still bringing in $5,000 worth of ticket sales and views and things like that, then you're a $5,000 battle rapper. You need to stay there. That's just that. All right. So that's my point on it. Let me know how y'all feel. Get at me. Tell me in the comments. You already know what it is. Slick Talk God, Slick Walk Nation. I am gone.